Welcome back, and today we're looking at Mark chapter 1, verses 37 to 38. Let's read them together. Kai hiuron auton, kai legusin auto hoti. Pantes zetusin se. Kai lege autois. Agomen alachou estas echomenas como polis hina kai eke keruxo es tuto gar ex elthon. Let's translate this. And they found him. So this is second aorist from Heurisco, and it could also be 1s, first person singular. But in this context, when the disciples are looking for Jesus after he goes to a desolate place to pray, it makes more sense to parse this as 3p. Second aorist active indicative 3p. And they found him. Now, this is the interesting part. And you would translate this as, and they are saying to him. Now, that's not what you see in most translations. Most translations just go, and they said to him. And I would do that too. So something interesting is going on here called a historical present. And I would refer you to Dan Wallace's book as a helpful point of entry into what the historical present is. But I think to give a simple gloss of it, it's like when you're retelling a story and you want to let someone know that something is important, you start talking in the present tense. So I walk into a bar and I see this guy, and this guy is taking something from the counter, etc., etc. You get the point. So the historical present is telling us to pay attention to something that's going on in front of us here in the text. Kai legusin auto, and they said to him. This is a haughty introducing indirect discourse. Everyone is looking for you, or everyone is seeking you. Again, we see another historical present here. And he said to them, strictly it's he says, but we'll translate it as he said, and he said to them, let us go. Now, this is interesting. It's actually a hortatory subjunctive. How do we know that this is in the subjunctive? Because the root is ago, alpha, gamma, omega. So what's going on here? Well, if this was in the indicative, you would not see an omega over here. You would see an omicron. And the lengthened connecting vowel is a big clue that you are looking at a subjunctive verb. So hortatory subjunctives, as the name suggests, involve some sort of exhortation to let us do this, let us do that. That's how you would translate a hortatory subjunctive. So let us go elsewhere into the neighboring village towns. There's a hina here, so this is a purpose clause. Let's look out for that, and also for subjunctive verbs. Hina. So that also there I may preach. And here's our purpose subjunctive. Keruxo. Aorist active subjunctive 1s. Eis tuto gar ex elthon. For I have come out for this reason or for this purpose. So what's going on in these verses? Jesus himself is telling us about the priority of preaching. Amongst all the things that Jesus does in his ministry, he heals sick people, he casts out demons. Amongst all of that, preaching is his priority, and he says it here. Let us go up into the surrounding villages, the neighboring villages, so that also I may preach there, for I've come out for this reason. This reason is here, that I may preach. So I think it's right to say, I believe in the priority of preaching, because Jesus does as well. Not the exclusivity of preaching, because there's lots of other ministries of the word that are valuable and important. But time and time again, Jesus seems to emphasize the importance of preaching and teaching the saving message of the gospel. So let this be an encouragement to all of you out there who are laboring in preaching and teaching ministries, to do that faithfully by the grace of God.